Okay, I still see bubbling, yeah, the people coming in, and I'm really glad to welcome everyone here at this webinar. Okay, so when we were selecting the theme for the webinar, actually there are many questions that came together into one general question: how do we expand our online presence? What needs to be done? What is the right way to choose how to go online? And what is needed for that? And actually how all this process is being done. And this is why we concentrated, I would say, something like BA and MA in jewelry e-commerce in one webinar, which we hope will be very informative for you. Just to make you understand how we approach this question, as some of you might know, we were managing more than 100 stores online, so we had this privilege to see different use cases, different development techniques, and this is what we're actually handling here. This is why we started the Valigara as a tool for us actually to help growing. So this is, and please feel free to ask questions. We'll have something like half an hour, 40 minutes of the webinar, and then you'll have all the time to ask. So the first thing we have to do when we speak about any expansion, we have to understand what fields we have, what directions we have, and what we can utilize. What is actually what are the major components we're talking about? What is the e-commerce build made of? So we call it the e-commerce pillars. I will very briefly introduce it. So clearly, the major part of your e-commerce operation are your products. If you have good products, they sell better. If you have not so successful products, probably you will have success online. It's not something that mystical, but there are another 4 components that might be not that clear. So we expect that if we often hear, I have the best jewelry, I have the best diamonds, I have the best gemstones, my products are the best, I buy them in the best place, or I produce on some amazing prices, and the quality I selected the best quality provider, manufacturer, and why don't I sell so successfully online? And let's see what happens here around this product. So first of all, and it stands on the top, is the logistic. So on the logistic, quite clearly, the difference between the online marketing and the offline marketing is that we do not sell actually products. We sell information about products, and we are far from our buyers. So if we have the best products, but these products are far and we cannot send them quickly, we cannot take care of the logistic effectively, so of course we get some penalty on from the buyers. They will always prefer something that is close to them, that is quick for them, that especially in jewelry being an emotional purchase. It's not buying an iPhone or buying something for the house. It's some emotional purchase, and we see that often people want them yesterday, not tomorrow even, but yesterday. So the logistic, we will speak about it later a little bit. Our idea is to create the right logistics, which will support and not to be an obstacle to selling our products. Now, when we speak about customer service, similarly to having a nice professional person answering the questions of the buyers professionally and quickly and in the right manner, we have the customer service as one of these core concepts that we need to sell online. This is quite obvious with a slight differences. Sometimes we can be 5,000 kilometers from our buyer, or sometimes we can buy the or sell our product to somebody who never saw us, saw the products, and will never know actually who is the person he's buying from. So this is the customer service with its own specifics that we have for online. Third one, the technology. When we speak about technology, we speak not just about knowing how to build a website, but all around. So taking pictures, creating the online catalog, having the information handy, being able to react to the changes, being able to manage our stores correctly, all this stuff, knowing how to execute the email marketing and social marketing, and how actually promote our products on marketplaces or on Google or major channels. This is knowledge of the technology. We might be the great offline, and this is basically where the offline businesses often get stuck. They have a great logistic working with the clients. They have a great customer service, but they are not aware of what does it take to sell correctly, let's say on Amazon or Walmart, or how to use Facebook to promote your website. So this is the technology part, which is very major switch from working offline to online. And the last part, of course, is the budgeting. Depending on what our business is, the budgeting defines how we go online, how we work online. Because if we are a small business, like one-man show or 3 people in the business, it will be quite difficult for us to do the same things if comparing to Pandora style 10,000 people in the business companies or Signet. So the budgeting, of course, must be in our focus. So once we decided to go online, we still have to understand where do we match. Okay, and the first decision we have to do is our jewelry good, or not exactly our jewelry, is our jewelry business good for being a global business, or it's better for niche markets? Why would that be? Because this will define if what channels we use. So basically, what channels we have to sell online. Of course, we have the marketplaces, the external marketplaces like Amazon, eBay, Walmart, Sears, Bonanza, Flipkart, Mercado Libre, all these guys. And the second way of selling, of course, is our website, where we all want to be, but it's not difficult to drive traffic to this website. And in addition, we will use some marketplaces, some channels, social channels, just to drive our traffic. And we have to understand what is our position, what is good for us. So let's take a look for a second. What does it mean to profile your business? Just to make things correctly, how do we profile our business according to our scale? So what does this mean? We have 2 options. We can go to global marketplaces, and we can go to niche marketplaces or markets. And first of all, it depends on our products. If we have, let's call it mass production or cost-effective, again, products, then we will be good to go to the global markets like eBay, like Amazon or Walmart. Now, if we have some handmade or one-of-a-kind or boutique jewelry, then we will be most probably not able to compare to the people, to the sellers who are very effective and very clear. And then for us, the niche marketplaces will be better for us. Now, why does this happen? Because let's speak about eBay and Amazon as the 2 major channels. Now, people buying on these channels, most often this is just the sales the buying channel for them. They, like a grocery store, they buy everything there. They will buy a pair of shoes. They will buy let's say an iPhone. Yep, some electronics, and also they will buy rings, for example, or some jewelry. So what does this mean? This means that for these guys, we will need a very simple items. It's not some specialty items that or some people who are very into the jewelry design, jewelry business, jewelry industry, who are passionate about jewelry. They most probably they're looking for something as a gift or maybe also for themselves. But if they're buying on the global market, it means that they are not as specialists. So people who are very interested in jewelry, do understand jewelry, they will go more into the niche marketplaces, for example, Etsy, Amazon Handmade, Katawiki, and all the marketplaces that are more specialized for jewelry, or not just for jewelry, but less global than eBay or Amazon. From our product line, if we have a large, what actually means large and small product line, if we just have few items, naturally on Amazon or on eBay, they will get lost. Why? Simply because we have millions of items and it's not easy to have them, to promote our items. Now, each marketplace has its own understanding on what is large and small product line, but basically we can say, for example, that if we compare Etsy or Amazon Handmade, which can also work with several dozens of items in some way, then on large marketplaces we see that we need hundreds and thousands of products in our product line to actually be successful and be visible, because there are millions of items. So we need to create some minimal. We have to create some critical mass, some minimal critical mass. Now, again, if we think about our products, so even on the stone shapes, if we target, let's call it not engaged person, a simple person who is looking to buy a simple product, most probably this will be the round stones, and 70% of all the jewelry purchased, for example, on eBay is round stones. So if the person is looking for some fancy shapes, then probably it will be more niche markets, and we can identify and we can understand that, for example, if I concentrate only on fancy diamonds or fancy shapes jewelry, maybe it makes sense for me to open a website, even that it's not easy to drive traffic to the website, but this will be a very niche way to going online. Unlike round stones, where I just want to be in this big mall where are many people, like Amazon or eBay. Now, customizable or do-it-yourself, of course, the niche markets will work better than global markets simply because of the logistics. We will speak about it. So, from this point, not just the jewelry influences how you adjust yourself to the marketplaces, to the channels. What also influences is the logistics and how you plan to work. Being on big marketplaces takes more money, requires bigger budgets because there are bigger players. Naturally, marketplaces like Amazon and eBay and Walmart and Sears and the big ones, they attract a lot of attention of big players like Gemstone, King, Pompeii, for example. So these marketplaces require a much higher budgets to get in. From the logistic point of view, again, remember that these are people who are less engaged with your jewelry. They less fall in love with some exclusive and unique item, and they're ready to wait for forever before they get this. So if we are into global markets, we need to have a very strong logistic. So if we look at eBay and Amazon, if we do not have the ability to send our product in 5 days, there is almost no chance to sell on these marketplaces. Unlike if we compare it to Etsy, Amazon Handmade, and for example, Katawiki or onlineauctions.com, we will see that, well, in this case, sometimes we see that very successful sellers have 21 days, 28 days shipping and handling time. Why is that? Because the people who buy on these marketplaces, they are ready to wait. They are in love with a specific item, and they know that it's a unique item. They're looking for a unique item. Once found, they are ready to wait. So if we have a challenge to create a good logistic, we will prefer the niche markets. Now, next thing, with a fulfillment, as you might know, FBA is a great example of a very successful fulfillment center. FBA is fulfilled by Amazon. So in this case, if our products match to the fulfillment, which means I am able to send at least 20, 30 items, 20 pieces each one into fulfillment, then I can use this. If it's possible for me, I can work on global marketplaces and channels. It's not necessarily Amazon. There are independent fulfillment centers like EFS, AAV, or many different, so we can utilize them. And actually, this has a very big importance on our chance of selling. We will speak about it a little bit later. And again, if, for example, I do DIY, do it yourself, or even customized jewelry where I have to engrave the name or something like this, I will not be able to work with the fulfillment. This means I will not be able, again, from the scope of work that I'm able to do, it will be not easy for me to compete on larger marketplaces. It does not mean that there are no DIY or customizable sellers on eBay and on Amazon. It's still available. It's just more challenging. It requires some additional preparation. Now, and the last thing is the returns. As stronger we are with the logistics, okay, well, the product itself plays less role. It might sound absurd, but what the people might buy is the ability to return very easy the item. So if there are two items, one with a localized return, and another one when I have to return my item into some other country which I actually don't know where it is on the map, then I will not buy it. If I am a casual buyer of jewelry, if I just focus on the jewelry itself, I really do not care if it's a localized returns or international. So again, as stronger my logistic is, so better I am with the global markets, and opposite with the niche markets. So this is the first thing, the first part of the profiling, which you should do when going online or expanding also, because I should and might check myself. Wait a second, I work on Amazon. Do I do the FBA? If I don't do the FBA, so I miss 80% of the Amazon, because 80% of Amazon is actually selling to the prime sellers, which are mostly on FBA. Yes, Amazon introduced the FBM option for fulfilled by merchant, option for Prime, but this is still, you get a penalty compared to the FBA items. So every paragraph of this, you check yourself according to where you are. So if I am now on eBay offering only fancy shaped diamonds, probably I should think how to expand my product line into more casual, more simple items. Next thing, I will have to think how to improve my health, how to adjust myself to the markets, is actually learning each one specific market. So I combined here, I brought up here some example. So if I work with the USA, then USA buyer are mainly buy 14K gold. Now, if I go to United Kingdom or to Europe, then I might consider 18 and 9 karat. But it quite makes no sense, because the market is not ready to buy the 18 karat or 9 karat in United States. So I have to learn this. I have to know the statistics and have to have this knowledge. The treated diamonds, if I will try to put a treated diamond, clarity treated diamond on Amazon, I will just again will be suspended because it's policy violation on Amazon. With that, we know that 60% of eBay diamonds are sold diamonds are treated diamonds, and we learn. For example, mostanites almost do not are not presented on Walmart and on Sears, but do a very great job on Etsy and Amazon Handmade. Because if we think about it, Etsy and Amazon, they're Amazon Handmade. It's very important. Amazon Handmade, they are much more into design, into the jewelry. So moissanite is just a stone for the buyer, which replaces and makes the item the jewelry more affordable. So if I work with Etsy or Amazon, I should consider using moissanite. Now, if I want to use Overstock or Bonanza, I must know that most of the items on these marketplaces are about $150 to $200. So the maximum that I should put on these marketplaces is about $300. So here also the price range. Whatever we do, we have some knowledge about how we can actually see the statistics. It's available online that every marketplace is strong in specific price range. So if I will try to sell $7,000–8,000 items on Amazon, probably I will not succeed. This is much better for my eBay. Now, if I have my if I have not just exclusive, but very expensive items, like 50,000 items, I have nothing to do on the marketplaces. I have to grow my own website and the social presence, and most probably also include also the omni-channel strategy, meaning having the website only as my showroom and selling offline. Selling by maybe going to the client. If I sell $100,000 item, then I probably should wear my tie and go to the client. So this adjustment by relevancy, by the price relevancy, is crucial for understanding and making your e-commerce strategy more relevant. If I concentrate in loose, another example, if I specialize in loose diamonds or gemstones, going purely to B2C will be challenging. There are amazing marketplaces like Rapnet, IDEX, Polygon, or other, which do the B2B job. So even if I go online, I will probably combine the B2B and B2C. The interesting thing about eBay and Etsy, what we see, they create a very nice bridge. We often see that some returning purchases, especially in loose diamonds and gemstones, from small distributors or boutiques. People buy one item, one stone, two stones, and then actually they become they continue purchasing the items from the same seller on eBay and Etsy. It's just a way for them to communicate. There is nothing different between the ebay.com or buying in store. Once they have found the right seller, they're ready to buy. So we know that about 40% of, for example, US women are ready to buy the lab-grown diamonds. So this is already implemented very nicely on eBay, and we will see that probably this direction is very good on eBay. So again, we learn what each channel brings to us, and we can adjust to this channel. And opposite, we look at our business and we see what matches our business best. Another thing so this again, we speak more about the jewelry itself, and one thing that often is being forgotten is the localization. Now, when we speak about the localization, just to make things clear, the same item, if, for example, I am a seller from India and my market is United States, so if the same item, the same necklace is somewhere in Mumbai, or I just take the same item into United States close to my clients, we can quite surely say that our CRO conversion ratio goes up 5 times. So it's very important for us to bring our items on one side, items close to our buyers. This is clear. Another importance of localization, if, for example, I am placed in India, it will be quite strange for me to forget that Flipkart is the largest marketplace in jewelry, even that maybe worldwide it's not, but Flipkart.com or Tmall in China or Mercado Libre in South America, they are great marketplaces. And interestingly, especially when you're not working on .com field, you have your own presence, you have your own uniqueness. So again, remember that buyers are prefer buying locally because of the returns, mostly because of the returns, because people do not know, regular people do not know how to send something, how to ship something if they need to return something internationally. Now, additional advantage that we have when we think about localization is the languages. Now, of course, all of us selling on eBay.com and major marketplaces, Amazon, Walmart, and Sears and Facebook, Google, yes, we know to provide the service in the specific in English, but very few of us, even that we specialize in e-commerce, it doesn't mean that all of are linguists. So if, for example, I can speak German or French or Spanish, it very much puts me into the situation where I have some very strong competitive advantage. So using languages, if you have some, for some reasons you have somebody Japanese speaking, it's a very in your company, it's a great asset, because then you're in a very small part of the sellers who speak Japanese and you can utilize it. Another thing here is localization is the time zones. If I am placed somewhere in Israel with a diamond jewelry, okay, then it's not easy for me to support somebody who is in the United States, because people ask a lot of questions. For example, on $2,000 jewelry, it will be eight messages between the buyer and the seller in average. So it's not easy for me to support him because of the difference in time zones. And when I work localized, it's much easier for me. And here it comes to the final note here about the physical presence. If I have even a small home office somewhere in Manchester, and people knowing that I do have this home office from people from Manchester will be glad to come to me to buy and to see, because very often, especially in the more expensive items, there is a higher level of involvement of the buyer with the seller. He wants to know who is actually producing this, who is the art director, who is actually creating the item. So here, when you localize your business, in addition, it's not just Google or Facebook who like to localize now. Why does this happen on the Google algorithms? Because they understand that people like to buy from their neighbors. Okay. So if we go back now to the e-commerce pillars and we think how we can actually expand, how we can actually improve here, when we speak about logistics, I just want to summarize a little bit. Faster shipping and handling. If we want to speak about the global markets, faster shipping and handling, local returns, simplifying returns, and using the fulfillment will be the core here. Under customer service, there is a very nice research showing that people get engaged 70% less through the first 25 minutes after they send you the inquiry. So our response time must be as short as possible. If we are inside this 25 minutes, we have much higher chances of closing the deal. So shortening the response time, considering the time zones, and technically bringing it to 24/7 support, when we can immediately respond to clients' request, to buyer request, and of course here adding as many languages as possible, because the difference in the last 5 years, that 5 years ago we had only United States and Europe in some way being able to buy from us. These are people who can in some way again communicate with us in English. And now being much more worldwide, we see that there are many additional very strong markets like China, for example, or India, with a huge, amazing tradition of buying jewelry, getting more and more active and evolving economy, getting much more active on buying the jewelry online. So introducing more languages gives us a huge advantage. Next, technology. The difference, again, if we compare what happened 7 or 10 years ago and today, is that 7 years ago or 5 years ago, there were not so many professionals working online. So, and today, with e-commerce grow, there are in every marketplace we get very, very professional people working. So our responsibility is to if we want to really scale our business, is to become more and more professional. If 5 years ago I just could put 50 or 100 items online, and I know that this is a good seller, this is a good manufacturer, most probably they will be sold. Today this is not the case. You have to learn the technology and to automate. Now this automation automation is another word for optimization. You cannot be optimized for today's e-commerce without being very sharp on following the trends, being sharp on following the seasons, being sharp of reacting to what happens to products pricing and so on and so on. And for this, the technology is required. Actually, this is how Valigara started. When we were managing the stores, we saw that we are unable to update 1,000 eBay titles towards Christmas, and then towards Valentine's, and then towards Mother's Day, because it took weeks. So once you have the technology, you do it in 5 minutes. And this is the idea that today there is the e-commerce becomes much more professional, brands going, strong brands, good brands with a very strong teams going online, and this makes this requires from us to be very much technological too. Now, of course, budgeting. Again, you have to be very aware when you go online and optimize it very much. And there are basically two components. One is the setup or the farming phase. Actually, the farming means when we prepare our online presence. We still do not sell because we are a very new business, and we have no references, we have no trust from the potential buyers. We have to farm our stores to prepare our store. This is the stores. This is the setup phase, and then the monthly. Of course, we have to allocate the right budgets to operate. Now, on the product side, if we do not provide a diversified product line, if we do not provide the full specifications of the products, if we don't have the right photography in-house, it will be not easy for us to compete with other people who are very close to us. Okay, there is a very high competition, of course, because we're close to each other. It's just one click from one seller to another. And again, when we think about products, it's not products, it's product information. So we have to be very, very accurate on providing the information from all perspectives. So these are actually our opportunities. As much as we work in improving each one of these directions, this is where we scale. This is where we grow. So bringing the attention towards each one of them, sitting with a cup of coffee and thinking, how can I improve my response time? Okay, how can I improve my product line? How can I improve my photography? And so on. Addressing each one of this is where we grow. Okay, now, not everyone is the same, and everyone, also with people who are here, starts from different points. So I just wanted to focus for a second for what is the next step from where I am currently. Okay, so if you start from offline, You build the online presence. Why you build the online presence? Simply to shorten the sales chain and get to the higher market, which means higher market margins. So what will be the way of going online? Depending on what you already have in your business, you go back to your profiling, look at what you have, decide if you're better for global or more niche markets, and this is where you start. Now, normally, you will not. Normally, from our experience, we do not recommend starting like being on 20 marketplaces. No way. Our recommendation is to choose one marketplace and the website, and maybe 2 marketplaces just to A/B test where you are better, because not all, we have some assumption about our business, but because it's a new business for us, we still don't know. Will I be able to create the one of a kind, the best of the best fulfillment, or I will not? Will I be able to provide fast shipping, or will I be not? What will be the limitation? So our recommendation is always to start, let's say, with 2 selling channels, one on the niche, one on the global markets, and see what works better for us. Will I be able to create the matching team for this? And these are my questions when I just go online. So, okay, there is, I don't know if, well, I will answer some questions from the chat. Normally, all the questions we will have at the end about the fraud protection. Okay, of course, this is actually what marketplaces do. If normally we think that marketplaces they just connect between buyers and sellers and saying, hi, here is the largest marketplace. You have 10 million silver jewelry pieces here, so come here. No, this is already a long time not the case. The fraud protection, this is why people start selling and buying in the beginning on the marketplaces, because this is what the marketplaces do. They protect both the buyer and the seller. This is their main goal: protect and provide services. It's very important. If you will just take a look at what eBay, Amazon, all these marketplaces do, they provide additional services. For example, making agreements with shipping companies, and then you can print shipping label from USPS cheaper than if you go to the post and you buy it yourself. So these are additional services. They also provide trust. If you will see, when we go to the marketplace, we will see to Amazon, we will see this and that reviews for this item. So if we see 200 reviews on some specific earrings, this makes sure for us. Now, and this actually makes us understand that, okay, this is a good seller. And also opposite, the marketplaces, yes, they do take care, and we see endless amounts of cases when they protect sellers too. Even if you have a fraud buyer, we saw from my experience beautiful cases, including eBay just having a specific budget and refunding the seller for fraud purchase on $38,000, just giving the seller back $38,000 from the special fund they have. So this is what, for example, marketplaces do. If we speak about the fraud protection on the website, yes, this is much more difficult. This is why we recommend, first of all, to get this protection of marketplaces, and only after that, getting in your website as you become more professional. So this was just on the chat. I will go back to profiling the business, because this is the major. If you understand this, here I am and here I go. It's like, okay, if I want to get to New York, probably the next question is where I am. You cannot call the travel agency and say, hi, I need a ticket to New York. They will ask you where you are. And if you don't know where you are, then you cannot go to New York. So the same also here. This profiling. Okay, this profiling, the offline, creating online presence, not staying focused by going 2, maximum 3 sales channels, because it requires you a lot of learning, especially on the technology way. The B2B, if you're currently into the B2B, your expansion will be into the B2C. This is what we see that all major B2B companies do, creating additional brands, additional stores. Sometimes, they're not directly related, but the idea is to shorten the sales funnel and getting closer to the clients. And we see sometimes how on eBay it happens that people, eBay and Etsy work amazingly interesting in this regard, that from the B2C, people slowly move to B2B. Next point that can be, it's one channel. I am now on the website, so quite logical it will be expanding to social presence, to engage with your current people, and getting into additional marketplaces. The marketplaces, they're very interesting in the way that they require much lower budgets to get in than building your website, and they actually provide a very important thing, trust. Because the buyers, they're not afraid buying from somebody they don't know, because there is the marketplace who will protect them from the buyer if they're not satisfied. Next, if you're on multiple channel like marketplaces, what will be your expansion? Of course, getting more and more professional on your marketplace. So it means you have to be more into situational marketing, like we said, holidays, seasons, and then knowing the algorithms and knowing what the marketplace expects from you. This is one direction, okay? Like running A/B testing all the time about titles, descriptions, and reacting to what happens, because all the marketplaces change all the time. It cannot be that you upload your item and do not change it in a year. It makes no sense. From our experience, we know that there are 5 major reasons to update your listings yearly. So every year, your target is to revise, to refresh in some way, revise, release, renew, whatever it is. In each marketplace is different, your listings. Now, additional expansion on the marketplaces, additional markets, it's quite clear. You just repeat the success, redo. If you see that, for example, you're successful on eBay.com, there are 32 eBays, so you go to eBay UK. If you're good there, you go to eBay Australia, because it's also in English. And then according to your languages, you go to more and more, expand to more marketplaces. This is obvious, because probably it means that your logistics, your customer service is good, and you know the technology, you know how the marketplace operates. Amazon has 11 Amazons, so if you're good on one Amazon, go to additional Amazon, and in this way expand. And of course, the final destination is the cross-channel marketing. The cross-channel marketing is when you use both marketplaces to bring new blood into your company, and then engage with the social marketing with your existing clients, and then move them to your website, of course, according to the rule of the marketplaces, move them to your website for the second purchase, because they already know you, they had a good experience, and they don't need this protection that the marketplace provides. So this is the final extension into cross-channel. If we speak not just online, then it's an omni-channel, connecting your offline business to online business. How this could be done? Just by saying on your website, we have a showroom in Diamond District on Manhattan, and inviting people, giving them this opportunity, because it adds a lot of trust to your offer. So basically, this is the 3-step marketing that we always summarize in how we approach the growth, the online growth. We push ourselves to external marketplaces, because this is our new blood, because people are not afraid of buying from somebody they don't know, because there is a protection of marketplace. Then our glue, the engagement, is the social and mail marketing. We just keep saying hi to the people that already bought from us, and then when they are ready to buy, we pull them into our website where there is no competitors. The sales flow is beautiful, adjusted to our products, and of course the conversion rates are better. So we pull the clients into the website where they continue to be our audience and our community. And this is how well, there is a I see that we're quite late with time, so I just want, this is how this synergy works. I will make it very simple. Marketplaces bring new blood into the website. The website gives the support in showing, hi, I'm not just some eBay seller. I have an established website where I have the very nice About Us page. So when people ask us if to use the same branding on eBay, on Amazon, and on Etsy, on website, yes, of course. And then, so this brand, the website creates the brand. What means brand? It's a long-term strategy. So this is how you convert from short-term businesses. And we saw a lot of eBay and Amazon businesses that just one day they were off because it's not your store. eBay decides to close your website and your store, and you're out from the e-commerce. So this is a long-term strategy that your brand is on your website, which belongs to you. Now you create, if you look here in the middle, you create all this inflow from the website and from marketplaces into your email marketing and social marketing. And opposite, when it's the right time to target to create this offer to the client, you target the clients. You just send them a nice offer. It can go. You can send them to the website or opposite to your marketplaces. We know that Facebook works amazingly with eBay, and Pinterest works amazingly with Etsy. So according to what works best for you, you just take your community and guide it to the right place for the right sale. According to the special request of our team, I have added the next slide to this presentation. When we speak to people, we're being asked, is it real? Aren't we oversaturated on e-commerce? Everybody is on e-commerce. I don't know what to do on e-commerce. Is it possible to build something on e-commerce today? So to make the story short, I just took two clients. I don't, of course, without names, but we see that one company, a very nice team of offline, going in 2 years from totally zero. You see, both of them started with completely zero. The first graph shows 6 people in the team working hard in getting themselves to $120,000 a month, as you can see, in 2 years. And the second one, somebody in the beginning, as you can see, it's seasonable. It's very nice, and you can see that the color changes. It means that he finally found the right marketplace for himself, and this bringing himself to $50,000 a month in 1.5 years. So yes, it is possible. We see it every day, and we really enjoy being with these people and helping them to grow. That's it. I hope it makes some summary of how you can find your next step by profiling yourself, knowing the four major components which you have to address on the e-commerce, and knowing at the end that this is real. If there are some questions, I am very glad to answer. So what can people try to do that, and how to prevent about just a minute. Lab grown personalization, of course. Oh, one of the major trends is personalization and DIY. So, with no doubt, personalization is a huge trend. You can see, you can use websites, for example, like Craft Count, and see that in the top 100 of Etsy, this is one of the major. We know clients who sent, last time that I saw, 13,000 pieces in 1 month, personalized. So it's a very nice industry. eBay fraud prevention. Okay, we spoke about it. About problems like was empty. Okay, fake diamond. Yes, exactly. This is your risk. Okay, one of the resources that you have online, that you need online. People sometimes say, okay, I will take on the salary somebody e-commerce expert and forget about it. Here is the username and password on eBay. Go. This doesn't work like this. One of the important resources that you need is the ability to communicate the marketplaces, communicate because they are important players, communicate Facebook, communicate Google, communicate PayPal, communicate every provider that you work with. And then once the fraud happens, you have your trust accumulated also on eBay, also on Amazon, also on every channel. They do know that they have to protect not only buyers but sellers. And then you, as a business owner that has this reputation, contact the marketplace and solve this situation. It happens. It's totally normal, and the marketplaces are built for this. So if it was, yes, it's a very nice question about different sizes, different fake diamonds. It's very important for you to send by the rules high quality, let's say, expedited shipping companies like Ferrari or FedEx. They are, or Brinks. They are built to assure and actually to provide an insurance that yes, you can close your package in the Brinks office and show them, guys, this is the GIA so and so item, and this is actually the certificate, and this is your insurance. That once the fake item comes back, it's important to open it in the Brinks office and immediately say to them, this is not the real item. We saw cases when even the Interpol was actually entering the game and finding the right person. But again, the average of the returns on and fake on e-commerce is 2%. So the easiest way of solving this is just, okay, I just raise my prices by 2% and forget about it. Yes, this risk is part of the game, but it's beautiful. Thank you for great presentation. The slides will be available. Yes. What is the niche? What is the niche price? I couldn't quite understand the question. Thank you. Craft count. Yes, Keith sent this already, and okay. Hope this answers. So I didn't understand the question about eBay. What is the niche price in dollars? So if you can elaborate more on this, I will be glad to answer the question. Okay, good. Package, yes, package was shipped, was empty. It happens, yes, sometimes, but it's 2%. Broad engraving. Great. So I'm waiting for Keith's yes to finish this. I see that there are no more. eBay, what is the most sellable price in dollars? I see. So I understand the question now. There is a limitation, but well, you do not attend normally. You do not attend eBay with $50,000 items. we had our record is $225,000 item bought on eBay. I don't know who is the crazy person who buys $225,000 on eBay, but this happened to us. This happened to one of our clients. But when I speak about these numbers, like Amazon is actually it's $1,000, eBay about $5,000. Below that, any price will work. People on buyers on eBay are ready to buy also $5,000-$7,000, but it's not the major. The $3,000-$4,000 purchases are totally normal, totally common on eBay. And this is the uniqueness actually of eBay, which has the highest ticket. The rest of the marketplaces, well, unless maybe Katawiki, which is for more expensive items and exclusive items. So $5,000, from $1,000 to $5,000, you are good to go, but not on Amazon, for example, or not on Overstock. Great. I'm glad I clarified this. Good. I'm glad. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for your time, for being here with us. You're always welcome to reach out with any questions. We're very glad to share from our experience of being for 7 years in jewelry e-commerce, precisely focused. So I see that Keith has already sent some details. And for US business, what's a good strategy of expanding to other internationally? Yes, it's very unclear to US sellers that they can go internationally. And lately, we see that it's quite normal, adding about 20-30% to your sales, because the international markets, especially UK and Australia, add a lot to, they got more and more stronger. What does it take? It takes, first of all, a good logistics. So this probably is the case. And eBay.com we're speaking. So first of all, I have to stress that the major marketplaces are .com. So again, I cannot answer all the questions. Yes, I see that we're over an hour right now. I will answer just the last one. And again, you're welcome always to be in touch with us. Just request the content, and we will speak. So the best markets to break into it don't have a good starting point yet. So here the question in the chat is, we would like to get into. So the first thing is to identify, to profile yourself, and not just to guess, let's try eBay, but create the strategy. Going online is always a strategy. It's at least 2-3 years targets you have to create yourself, and be ready, understand that it's not let's try strategy. No, this doesn't work. And you start from profiling and getting the right knowledge in each one of the four pillars. So yes, there is yeah, I see there are more questions, but we're over an hour. I thank you very much. There will be a recording available, so please coordinate with marketing at Valigara about where the recording is. And we will continue doing the webinars, going more and more in depth. So stay tuned. I thank you very much. Enjoy selling. It's important. Thank you.